favorite.
More edge, a little quicker cleaning with the edge.
Yeah. So everything, if you look at the boards, this one has the most tack, this one has in between tack, and this one has the least amount of tack. The same with the concaves. This one has the deeper part of the concave. This is concave, double concave, and panel B. This one is panel B throughout, the same as that, but the deepest part of the double concave is through the back on this one, so to duplicate on the control of the quad, where on this one the V is flatter through here, more like a slalom board, and then you have the more double concave through the middle, and that's your softness of the ride. So the guy that is going to be, or the woman that is going to be riding this board, it's going to be using it on longer runs, back and forth, going through chop. They don't ride as often, and they want something that they feel great, they feel at their best. So this board is a little longer, a little bit wider, a little bit more curved through the middle of the board. It's a little bit of a softer ride, a faster, the person that is like, hey, you know, I'm like catered to jumps, and I don't ride as much on the wave, and I'm all over. So then this one is gonna be like, oh my God, this is the fastest wave I've ever been on, and still turn it. You still have a kind of a wave outline and rails, but it's more like a mix between a free race board and a wave board. This one is in between a free wave board and a full-on wave board.
Would you say that the thruster this year is more like our quads last year? That the thruster wave? Would you say that's in the middle and that's closest to that? Or?
I think these boards really, I couldn't compare to, I mean, they were like really like the boards last year, but to me, they were a little bit hard to ride. This year, the boards are much softer.
Because of the V in the front.
And so they are quicker because they're gliding. This year's boards, the boards, they were like a little bit like harder. They were like fast, but they were like hard. Like when you were riding, you were like a little bit harder. And these ones, they're much softer. But you're like going as quick, or if not faster. So compared from last year, yeah, it's
they're easier to wave ride. They're
much
more
easier.
fluid.
Yeah.
And they keep the plane and the glide
Well, the
as
biggest
well, if
difference,
not better.
Yeah.
It was last year the boards were full concave.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that gives you the harder ride because you have a concave entry.
Yeah.
And it's doing that where if you have a little V in the front, it breaks through the water a little bit more.
And also keeps you more on top of the water and going rail to rail easier.
So you can see on all the boards, they all share the same thing. So as the boards transition on size, yeah, they transition on all the things, and the same as they transition on models, they also transition, but they share a lot of the same feelings. So if Brausinho, he got on this one and he was really liking it, and that's why the goal is to design this board so the people look and choose their boards looking at the conditions, not looking and saying, you know, I really like this board, but I didn't like this one, or I really like this one, but I didn't like that one, or I like this one on the bigger size, but not on the smaller size. I want the people to look at and choose their boards looking at the conditions, and then go in and say, all right, I'm on Maui, I'm riding waves, or I'm going to be in Mauritius, or I'm going to be on, I'm really more about just, you know, this, and then they go on that one, and they're like, okay, now I'm in Tarifa, or I'm in Pozo, and I want a thruster. I've always been about the thruster, but I want a wakeboard. Then this is the one. And or somebody is like, you know, I don't, I want to go as fast as possible, but I still want to be on a wakeboard. Then that's the one. Or I don't windsurf as much as I used to, but I want to feel great the moment I got on. I don't want to be challenged with a little bit narrower board. So still they all share, you see, they all share the wings, the things that we find in something like this poem came a lot from our race board development. The rockers that we did, they came from our race board development. So everything is like, comes together. And what we did here, we pushed it into our race board as well. And the race board gets pushed onto the free wave and all that. So So as people transition between their boards, they're not lost, and they're not saying, "Oh, that's my favorite. I don't want to ride that one." And so that's why wanted to bring across. Construction's the same throughout, and
And these boards will stay the same for at least 2 years.
at least 2 years. Yeah,
So
that's what we've seen. Is like
One thing we did, we don't have all the new fins on the boards. We are going to the new MFC fins, the RTM. I know we had some issues in the past with those.